This is your official Wildcat and LadyCat station, KSST 1230 AM, Sulphur Springs, Texas. It's time for LadyCat soccer. Let's go to Gerald Prim Stadium, where tonight's game is called by Don Julian and Alexa Upton. Guys?
James Terry, thank you very much. Don Julian here for Alexi Upton, who's joined me for this game. Pleasant surprise. I did not know he was going to do that, but he volunteered at the last moment. I think we had to twist his arm real hard, but not really. He was very good about saying that he would come on and do this, and we're glad to have him here as one of our experts here. And Coach, what are your thoughts? What are Joel's thoughts tonight? The last non-district game, you've got district against Greenville coming up Tuesday.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to come into the game, try to get a win out of a good Mellisa team. I think they're 4-4-1. They're kind of 500. And it's a real good test to him. They did really well against Community last week, and if they can get here and get a good win, kind of propel them into district where they want to be. So
they really needed that, didn't they? They needed that win, and just to kind of get the monkey off their back and to really, if they start feeling a little confidence and everything, winning that game was big for them.
Yeah, winning that game and then also getting the shutout was big for them too. To put that shutout away and play really great defense and really kind of, control the game was really good for them.
All right, so it is Melissa's Cardinals. They're coached by Manuel Avila, and just in a short period of time, Jeremy Offit will be introducing the lineups for both teams and have them run onto the field. And we should be underway just any moment here. The officials are locating the balls, and well, sounds like he's going ahead with the announcement of
number 6, Vanessa Lara, number 8, Jasmine Oliveira, number 9, Haley Robinson, number 10, Allie Stevens, number 11, Lois Roca, number 12, Anna Irving, number 13, Shelby McCormick, number 14, Janine Yamaguchi, number 16, Keely Hutchins, number 17, Erica Van Gentlen, number 18, Brooke Harden, number 20, Jennifer Lopez, and number 22, Chloe Jones. And the LadyCats are coached by Joe Bailey and Ross Hicks. I'd like to remind everybody that concession stands are open under the home side of the stadium. I'm sure there's plenty of hot chocolate and hot coffee and hot dogs and pretty much anything hot you can hands on right now might be breezy.
All right, so there's Jeremy Offit, and I thought we might introduce both teams, but he introduced the LadyCats, and so it looks like we're just going to get ready to go here. And what's the last thing, Coach, that you tell a team before they go out on the field? Last message.
I think Bailey's probably saying something to the effect of, hey, let's build off of what we did on Tuesday. We played really well on Tuesday. Came out here, got a result, played really great on defense, and, just keep it going. You want to get into district with a little bit of a streak under you, so that way you're feeling a little more confident, a little more ready to go.
As a soccer player or coach or anything, do they feel the cold out there on the field? You as a former player? Or you try to just forget it?
Yeah, you try your best to forget it. I mean, they're going to feel it. It's cold, but at the same time, once you get moving, once you get going, it's something that kind of goes to the back of your mind and you don't really think about. It's usually after the game when it's all said and done where you're like, dang, it was cold out here.
It's kind of an incentive for being a starter because the starters get to run around. The players on the bench are sitting there very, very cold. 36 degrees here at Gerald Prim Stadium. A chill factor of 30. We have a northeast wind at 7 miles per hour and 47% humidity. LadyCats will start with the ball as they will put the ball in play, and both teams on the field now, and we're just about ready to go here from Gerald Prim Stadium. It's Melissa's Cardinals and the LadyCats of Sulphur Springs as they will be putting it in play there. And now the LadyCats kick back into the defense, and we start the ball game. The LadyCats with the ball on their defensive end. And up to, I believe that's Yamaguchi. Ball comes to the sideline, but here come the Cardinals with the ball. As they move it in, this is Lucy Hurst, and passes down the field. Both teams going for the ball. The LadyCats win the battle of the ball and kick it down near the midline, but right back in for the Lady Cardinals here. It goes across the touchline, throw in for Mellisa. That's Reese Reddick who throws it in. And they will work the ball around, but the Lady Cats make the steal, get it up around the midline, and will send a player down the right side, a tall Lady Cat player, and that is Caitlin Robinson. Ball taken away, but Kate will go back and pick it up. Was knocked away from her, but she got back to it. Finds teammate Haley Robinson. There's a kick toward the goal, and here comes the keeper to get there. And she'll be punting that ball out of here. And a nice kick. Probably into a little bit of the breeze. Looks like the Lady Cats may have the breeze here in the first half. And here come the Cardinals on the attack. As they move in, they'll try the right side over on the far touchline. Kick toward the middle. Lady Cats clear that out with their defense. And up the field it goes to Yamaguchi. Janine Yamaguchi across the midline on the far touchline with the ball. Moves in and taken away. As both teams kind of probing, Coach.
Yeah, they're both getting in. You know, the first 5 minutes or so. Ooh, hold on.
And into the box, a player goes and kicks toward the middle. Lady Cats trying to get the ball out of there and do a good job of controlling that ball with the defense and moving it up the field. And down the field it comes again over to Caitlin Robinson. Back to Haley Robinson, then back down to Caitlin again. But here comes Mellisa. And both teams making some charges down the field, but nothing real juicy going on yet in terms of a good goal shot. Some good footwork there. They'll move it over to the right side of the box. Here's a kick, and it sails to the right of the goal. That's not a shot on goal, right, Coach?
No, sir. Yeah, I think the first 5 minutes, you know, you kind of want to get a feel for how the other team is. You kind of want to sit, kind of see what they're doing, how they line up. But good start for the Wildcats. Just get forward and get more chances on goal.
And Gamble kicks it out from the ground, and down the ball comes. And Mellisa back in on the attack. And they will work just to the edge of the box, trying to get something going. Player crossing. Now will kick with a right foot. Too tall there. Went across, looked like maybe right through the crossbars there, just a little bit high. It's probably a tendency for players maybe to be a little amped up at the beginning of a game and maybe, you know, over kick and stuff like that until they kind of settle into the game, as the coach was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely takes a couple minutes for you to get into the feel of the game, the flow of the game, the rhythm. But then after that point, you know, the girls should be ready.
And Gamble will kick the ball out, but it's Lady Cats defense moving it a little bit. Now here's Cardinals on the attack. A player moving in, and they're in the left side of the box with the ball. A kick off of a Lady Cat and across the end line, and that should set up the corner kick. And let's see, and spy the number here. It's a number 2, and that would be Reagan Eichel. And so Eichel with a corner kick. Certainly hope we're pronouncing the name right. We know we have some viewers in Mellisa tonight, and we're really glad the folks are tuning in. Here's the kick on the way. Settle down, but it's going to be to the right side of the goal, and actually the whistle blew there, Coach, stopping that. Mm-hmm. And it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Cats. Again, Gamble will bring that ball to the ground there at the edge of that small box, and we'll kick it out of there. A lot of this action taking place in the Lady Cats' end in the early going here, although the Lady Cats have had some runs too down the field, and they work it out of the defensive end. And Robinson, there's a player moving in for the Lady Cats. So one moves around the defense, a strong offensive move, but a good defensive play there by the Cardinals defense, just when the young lady looked like she was really setting sail there. And now the ball coming over to the near touchline, and once again with some nice passing, here come the Cardinals in to the edge now, left side of the 18-yard box. Player trying to maneuver there. and works it over to Lucy Hurst. There's a kick right out in front. Here's a Cardinal kick that well to the left, and might have been a pass as much as anything. And now Mellisa trying to get things underway as they have Reddick with the ball. Now the ball knocked across the side on the touch line there. A throw in for the Cardinals, and this will be Reese Reddick with a throw in. Back to Reddick, and she will kick right out in front. The Lady Cats send it to the side. And once again, corner kick coming up with Eichel, Reagan Eichel. 33-33 left here in the first half of play, and 0-0 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. This is the first Mellisa game that I believe I've ever done in any sport, so we're glad to have them here. Here's a kick on the way, and kick by Mellisa. They try to turn and shoot, blocked by the Lady Cats defense, and they will move it up the field and come out of the defensive end. Heads up near the midline, but Mellisa right back on the attack. But they kick into the Lady Cats defense, and they send it down the field. And the Lady Cats will kick deep, and then they will chase. Mellisa defender will get there first, and she just sweeps it back to her keeper, who kicks the ball from the ground and kicked it up into the seats here at Prim. So it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Cats and Allie Stevens, one of two captains, along with Brooke Harden. And going to need a little assist. Now they're using the extra ball. It's back behind the goal for Mellisa. So Allie Stevens to throw in for the Lady Cats down fairly deep in Cardinal territory. And the ball kicked out toward the middle. There's a strong kick toward the goal, but it'll be a couple of hopper into the keeper. And she will punt it out of there. Nice strong kick off of Yamaguchi.
There you go.
Looks like Ashley Noe probably there in the midfield. Over to Stevens. And works it up. And across the touchline it goes, and it'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals. And as most teams, they have a designated person to do that all the time. There's a throw-in. And they're going to be along the left touchline here, and moving in is Lucy Hurst. Hurst putting on the brakes, and now will kick toward the middle, try to kick it across the field, intercepted by the Lady Cats, and then they kick the ball several yards down the field. Lady Cats on the move there, coming down to Haley Robinson, and she works over to Caitlin Robinson. And now Mellisa had it, but they kicked it into the Lady Cats defense, and Yamaguchi's got it for the Lady Cats. Kicked it off of a Cardinals player. And here come the Cardinals on the attack across the midline. And down the field with a long pass into the 18-yard box to the left of that box, Reddick again. And kicks off of a Lady Cat, settled down by Mellisa. Should have a pretty good shot there, but can't. Good defense kept her from unloading there. Now here's a kick toward the goal, goes just to the right of the post. From our perspective up here, always our perspective, as opposed to what the keeper is, just backward for them, but pretty good coverage by the goalkeeper there. If that would have been toward the net, she would have had good coverage there, Coach.
Yeah, McGamel's a phenomenal goalie. She's only a junior, and she's just got so much command and great presence, great footwork. So.
And the kick comes down to Haley Robinson. Over to Stevens and back to Haley. Right down that right touch line. And taken back, though, by the Cardinals, the Lady Cardinals. And the ball comes over to Eichel, a deep kick. A nice header by the Lady Cats. And Lady Cats, Ashley Noe works it back, and then the Lady Cats kick it up near the midline. Battle for possession over there. And Yamaguchi has it for the Lady Cats. She's pretty easy to spot with those bright shoes on. Back to Ashley Noe, and she rolls back to Allie Stevens, the defender. Stevens kicks it up the field. And here come the Lady Cats on the move. moving in rapidly. Kicked, went off somebody and out of bounds, and so they throw in for the Cardinals deep in their own territory. 29-10 left here in the first half, 0-0. A kick off of Yamaguchi, a good stop, but kicked it into a defender from the Cardinals. And they're across the midline. Cardinals on the attack here, 0-0 in our ball game. To the right of the box, players bumping down there right before it went across the touchline. It'll be a goal kick for the LadyCats. You know, I've always said that, Coach, that sounds so great, but it's just a kick out of the goal.
Yeah, we're struggling early to keep possession of the ball. Like you said, you know, it's, you know, Yamaguchi losing ball, or, you know, Noe losing ball right there. If we could just keep possession of the ball a little better, I think some chances will start coming for us.
And pretty hard to do against this tough Lady Cardinals defense, but LadyCats will be working on that. Right now they kick the ball. It goes across the far touchline, and a throw in for the Lady Cardinals. And they'll wait for their designated person to throw that ball in. And looks like that will be Genevieve Stopinski. And there's her throw in. And the LadyCats kick it out of there, but Mellisa, defender, comes up and hammers it toward the goal. Here's a shot from the middle that was too high, went up and over the goal. And Gamble, you talked about a good keeper she is, made a fantastic play the other night where she actually, the ball kind of popped it up and flipped it over the back of the net when it was fired on goal up over her head. I thought that was a clever play, Coach.
Yeah, she made quite a few saves against Community on Tuesday. Kind of really kept them in the game and kept that shutout that they were looking for. So,
kick up near the midline, and the Lady Cardinals right back on the attack, but into Ashley Noe in the LadyCats defense. And Ashley will kick off of one of the Lady Cardinals, and it goes over to Reese Reddick. And Reddick works it over to Renaya Chapman, and they'll work the far touchline. Here's a kick toward the middle. LadyCats pry it out of there and send it down the field toward Bailey Arrington up near the midline. But once again, the Lady Cardinals probing. You can just see them probing, trying to find the weak spots in the LadyCats defense. So far, have not been able to find them. Kick goes off of Eichel, excuse me. Now here's a strong kick she made toward the goal, and again just to the right of goal. Sometime, like one of my golf shots, you expect that thing to kind of curve right in there, and as often happens on my golf shots, when they go straight like that, you're way off course. But that wasn't far off course, but missed net, and Gamble once again with a kick from the edge of the small box, and there's the kick out of there. And up to the Cardinals, and they've got everybody pushed pretty well up. They've got one player kind of hanging back just in case. But they are really pressing the attack here in the early going. And down Stevens intercepts the ball into the box, and LadyCats fending off a defender, and finally thought that there could be trouble, so they kicked it across the end line to set up another corner kick.
Yeah, Melissa's, they're definitely pushing. They're a shark right now. They're smelling some blood in the water. LadyCats need to keep possession of the ball and try to get up the field a little more.
Yeah, because you know, usually if you press the attack like this over and over and over again, eventually you know you're going to be rewarded.
You're going to get your good chances, and they're getting a couple right here, especially on corners. Corners are always dangerous.
Yes, they are. We always perk up during the corner kicks, and here's Lucy Hurst, and a curving kick. A nice stop there by Gamble. Boy, that was a wicked-looking kick, wasn't it, Coach?
Yeah, those corners are dangerous. Corners are scary. You don't want to give them up cheaply.
LadyCats trying to get that ball out of there. Ashley Noe fighting for position, but Eichel has it. Again, they'll work that far side. Now they come to the middle. They send a player down on the right side, and she tries to find a teammate, has one right in front. Oh. She kicked it into the goal. A goal for Mellisa by Lucy Hurst, and that was at 24:49. And Mellisa has broken through here, and as we were saying, you know, you continue to press the attack like that, and eventually, you know, something good is going to happen. And that time, a little bit of opportunity there, space and time, and Hurst puts it in the net. And now here come the Lady Cats on the offensive. They'll kick to Stevens on the sideline, but intercepted there by the goal scorer that we just talked about, Lucy Hurst. Back into the Lady Cats defense, and Stevens playing catch back there in the defense. Now kicks it up the field, and there's Bailey Arrington, and Arrington will kick it down the field. Trying to send a teammate there. And I believe that is, let's see, that is Keely Hutchins. And now the Lady Cats move in with Haley Robinson. Back to Haley. Haley moving in, but just a half step more and she would have had that, but a nice strong defensive play there by the Lady Cardinals kept that from happening. Oh, so close, just a game of inches sometime. Now a foul on the Lady Cats up around the midline. Free kick coming for the Lady Cardinals, but this is got to be in the range of 55 yards or something. What a long kick. Seen them go in from here, though, before. There's a strong kick down the field off of a Lady Cat defender. But again, trying to get inside there, and then Stevens kicks it down the field off of a Lady Cat, and they come on the move. Keely Hudgens on the move. She'll send Arrington down the right side, see if they can keep it in bounds. Doesn't look like it. No, it'll go across the touchline. Throw in for the Lady Cardinals. We're at 23-15, and Mellisa has a 1-0 lead. Now there, the wind caught that one and never allowed it to get in bounds on the toss. So it'll go now to the Lady Cats for a throw in, and Allie Stevens. Stevens sends it down the field toward Arrington. Was kicked off her. Have a player maneuvering in there, moving in, kicks in. Oh, just missed a crossing play. Robinson to Robinson there, Coach.
Yeah, the Robinson connection there is strong. If she could have just got a little something on it to get it in goal.
Yeah, Haley tried to connect with Caitlin Robinson and just missed the connection there, right out in front. But and here comes Mellisa on the attack. They're leading 1-0. They'll move it down the right side, broken up by the Lady Cats, but Mellisa gets it back, and they'll kick back to some defenders to get the offense going. Nice defensive play for the Lady Cats, Yamaguchi. And once again, Hurst on the move. Hurst moving in, boots it down, and Gamble will win the race to the ball just ahead of a very speedy Lady Cardinal there. Her throw out to Noe and down to Yamaguchi. And here's once again Hurst on the move.
Yeah, she's a little bit everywhere, man. She is playing.
She really, is a force. Here's a kick toward the goal, and Gamble has it. That would have gone to the left of the post, but Gamble wanted to make sure nobody came swooping in to arrive there where the ball was and kick out of there. And here comes the attack by Jenna Daniel. And Lady Cats, though, get it out of there up around the midline. Back to Daniel again. And they'll work it back to Chapman. Taken away, though, by Robinson and over to Arrington. Or no, tried to get it back to Keely Hudgens. That was Hudgens that took it away. And then now a kick to Allie Stevens. It rolls it up to Hudgens and back to Stevens. And Stevens will try a run. Her pass is intercepted. Chapman there, but a nice move by the Lady Cats Arrington. She kicks it down the field. Comes back to Reddick for the Lady Cardinals. Rolls to the middle of the field. The Lady Cardinals lead 1-0. 20:45 left here in the first half. Nice strong kick over the Lady Cardinals back into the Lady Cats defense. And they work to the side, trying to get possession there. Lady Cardinal falls, and the officials let that go, but pass comes back to Hurst again, and tried to get it back to Hurst. The Lady Cats trying to break that up, and they direct the ball to the side. And a goal kick coming up.
Yeah, I had to glance across you for that Lucy Hurst name. I mean, she has been a little bit everywhere, doing a lot on the attack. So.
Yeah, she's obviously a main cog of the Lady Cardinals attack, and we've already seen what she can do close to the goal with the ball. And nice looking soccer player for Mellisa. Right there in what I consider the hotbed of kind of soccer territory, not too far out of McKinney and close to Princeton and all that, and just a lot of good soccer in that area. And here comes Mellisa on the attack. Yamaguchi had it on her foot for just a second. Now the Lady Cats defense, Noe, will work it. They'll work it down the field toward Arrington. And the Lady Cats, Hudgens trying to get to possession. Oh, had a player fall, and then add insult to injury. Somebody kicked the ball and hit her in the head when she was trying to get up. So a tough few minutes there for Reese Reddick there. Trying to check everything, make sure that she's still doing all right after that. Looks like she's fine. Substitution, and now in is Laura for the Lady Cats. That's Vanessa Laura. A good throw in by Stevens there. But here come the Lady Cardinals on the attack. And again, they find that number 7, Hurst. Eichel. And down the field it goes to Wallace. Now a player breaking in. That's Wallace, but a nice save there by Gamble. And she hit that so hard it sailed all the way and hit the base of the visiting stands and out of bounds. And so a throw in for the Lady Cardinals. But a good diving save there by the keeper to get it out of harm's way. Eichel works it down to Hurst again. And kicks it off of a Lady Cat defender who sends it down the field. Laura now has it. And Laura on the move. I guess a little bit bigger player there had a hard time with her. Here's a kick down the field, a header there. I believe that was by Daniel. Goes over to Arrington. Arrington trying to work around a defender. And Arrington still possession of the ball. Fending off several of those Lady Cardinals. Got it to Hudgens and back to Arrington. She was bumped off the ball that time. Haley Robinson works it back. Hudgens will kick it down the field, but the Lady Cardinals have it. And they'll come across with Eichel across the midline. 17:30 to go here in the first half. It's 1-0. The Lady Cardinals leading over the Lady Cats. Kick to the right of the 18-yard box, and then out of bounds it goes. A throw in now for the Lady Cardinals. 17-14 still left here in the first half. 1-0 ball game. Just into the edge of that box, and the Lady Cats kick it out of there to Hudgens. She boots it down the field, and Lady Cats will go across the field toward Arrington. And Arrington will maneuver and get it back to Hudgens. Hudgens will kick it downfield, trying to thread the needle, and Haley Robinson trying to get around a tough defender down there, but Mellisa will kick the ball across the near touchline, and the Lady Cats will have a throw in, and they will wait for Stevens to do the 40-yard dash down there to throw the ball in. 16:35 left here in the first half, and Mellisa 1, the Lady Cats 0 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. The first of 2 ball games tonight. Here's a throw in. Ball high up into the air. A couple of headers by Mellisa. Across the touchline it goes. Lady Cat Stevens didn't have far to go that time. She kind of hung around there, and now we'll throw the ball in. It's right out in front of the goal, but out of there by Mellisa. Over to Yamaguchi, who kicks toward the goal. A one-hopper knocked down and then taken by the keeper. And she will toss this one out of there. Sails past a player, but got to it and kicked it to the far touchline. And Mellisa back on the attack, leading 1-0. 15:48 left here in the first half. Here's a kick to the right side of the box. And Mellisa will get there and kick it toward the goal, and Gamble cuts that off and will punt it out of there, I believe. She's looking around to see what her options are, and now she puts the kick into it. A little wind aid, I think, on the back of that kick. Hutchins trying to get possession for the Lady Cats. Goes down into the Lady Cats defense, and they boot it out of there. And the Lady Cats on the attack. And send it toward Arrington, but it was kicked off of her, but team still fighting for possession, but the Lady Cardinals have it, and they're coming out of their defensive end. Hudgens got a kick on it and then sent it out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Lady Cardinals. And Eichel will throw the ball in. Throws it in to Stopinski. kicks it down the field. On the far touchline over there, Laura, the Lady Cardinals, will kick it down the field. Pretty good passing team. I'm impressed with their passing. They got it back toward Hurst. It skipped past her, and the Lady Cats kicked toward the sideline. This will go across the touchline and have a throw in for the Lady Cardinals. Throwing in now Reddick, and Reddick gets it in to Hurst. Hurst blasting past a defender, now will kick and put a little bit too much oomph on that. It kicked it to the right of the goal, a little bit long, and Gamble will pick up the extra ball there, as we're at 14 minutes of the first half, and Mellisa leading 1-0. And here's a kick down toward Keely Hudgens. Kicks it back to Ashley Noe, and she finds Stevens back in the defense, back to Hudgens. And Hudgens wants to send Stevens down that right side, a little bit ahead of her, and throw in, went across the touchline, throw in for the Lady Cardinals. Mellisa throw in went off of Stevens and bounced up into some of Alexi's players that are down there on those benches down there with those front row Bob Euchre seats down there. Except in this case, they really are on the front row. Throw in now for Reese Reddick, and she gets it into Stopinski. Goes back to Reddick. She's on the near touchline trying to maneuver in, and taken away by Hudgens. And Hudgens on the move. As went around a defender. Hudgens continues on the move and kicked it off a defender and out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Lady Cats. Yeah, I had Stevens on the coach's show, and I kidded her about her running those 40-yard dashes just throughout the game. There's a lot of times where they have a person that throws the ball in has to make that long run.
Once again, just, Wildcats just got to keep possession of the ball a little more. They're just giving it away too much, and Mellisa, they can keep possession of the ball. They're doing a great job at moving the ball around and passing. So,
yeah, they've really got some nice-looking soccer players, some really good size, and some players that look like they're very skilled. It's pretty obvious that they are. Here's Hurst with a kick with the right foot, and again off to the right and a little bit elevated.
Speaking of the danger man, or woman, I should say, yeah, she's been all over the place. Don't lock her down. Don't give her the ball.
Yeah, she would probably, I don't know how much research Joel's had a chance to do, but I imagine she would be a person you would have to stop.
One to watch, definitely.
And the kick out of the goal, and here come the Lady Cardinals again, maneuvering down the field, trying to find either a passing lane or a shot opportunity. Back to Eichel, and she kicked it off of one of the Lady Cat defenders. Comes down the field, and a nice kick by the Lady Cats out of there. And a deep kick. They tried to send Hudgens down the field, but Lady Cardinals got it back. They settle that ball down. Wallace. Wallace to the right side of the box, moving in with speed, kicked it off of a Lady Cat. And here's a shot toward the goal, just to the left of the post. Got this hacking cough and could not find any water on my way up here today, so a tough go all the way around. So a kick out of the goal now for Gamble. Gamble's kick down to Yamaguchi. And Yamaguchi sends it down the field. Lady Cats trying to penetrate about 4 deep back there for the Lady Cardinals. So far they've been pretty impenetrable. And here comes the attack now with Reddick, taken away though by Arrington.
Ooh.
And there's a kick toward the goal. Gamble will handle that on 2 or 3 hops.
Yeah. Add that to the stat sheet. Take the save, wasn't too difficult.
Yeah, low degree of difficulty on that one. Kick down the field, but you've got to make all the plays, and the first time that goes in, everybody will think, boy, what a lapse that was.
Yeah.
There, you got to treat them all with respect, I guess. Kick all the way down, made its way into the 18-yard box, but the keeper has it for the Lady Cardinals. And we'll punt it out of there. Well, you can see the wind just pulling that ball down, even though it was a nice punt. And here come the Lady Cardinals on the attack. They lead 1-0. We're under 10 to play. Now they've got Hurst coming in, but broken up by Gamble. But Wallace is back there and kicked off of the Lady Cats. Good job of the Lady Cats defense to be there when they were needed, because as Gamble got a piece of it, but the ball ricocheted out to very dangerous-looking Peyton Wallace, who looked like she was ready to load up and kick, and it'll be a corner kick now for the Lady Cardinals. See if I can spy that player in the gloaming over there in the dark here. That is Reagan Eichel. Guess she does the goal kicks from both sides. A lot of teams do that. Sometimes you'll have a righty or a lefty that you kind of use from those corners. Here's the kick on the way, and went skated right past everybody, and now they'll chase it down. Chased down there by Stupinski, and she works it over to Reddick. Hurst got a kick toward the goal. It just kind of trickled right into Gamble there, and she will set it out at the edge of the 6-yard box and will boot it out of there. Again, Mellisa leads 1-0, 8:20 left here in the first half from Gerald Prim Stadium. First of 2 games this evening. Lady Cats playing now, and then Alexi Upton's Wildcat soccer team. Got butterflies yet, Coach?
No, every game is just another game. You know, you try to get better, you try to win games, and just try to get on to playoffs and where you're meant to be. So
there you go. Well, you know, if you've got a cool coach, you stay cool as a player. You know,
Yeah.
if you look over and the coach is biting his nails and everything, it might be a little nervous. So a good approach by Alexi Upton there. And a ball on the far touchline. And now here's a Mellisa kick toward the goal, and Gamble will take it on a big hop just ahead of that flying Mellisa player there. A lot of speed there. I believe that's that Wallace again.
Great.
Peyton Wallace.
Great step by Gamble. Good job by Gamble.
And a nice punt out of there again. The Lady Cats benefiting with the wind here in the first half. At about 7 miles an hour, what James Terry told us. With 36 degrees was our starting game temperature, and you can bet it's dropping through this match. Kick out of bounds by the Lady Cardinals. And throw in for Allie Stevens for the Lady Cats. And sails it toward Arrington, goes past her down to Hudgens and back to Arrington. Here's Bailey. And Bailey kicks it toward the goal. It's scooped up by the Lady Cardinals keeper. And she will roll it out of there to a defender back there in the back, with Laura back checking on her. But here come the Lady Cardinals, and they'll kick it down the field. Went off one Lady Cat over there on the far side. Mellisa got it back, and a left-footed kick toward the middle of the field. They found Hurst again. Hurst maneuvering, trying to find an opening. She works it over to Eichel, and Eichel will kick right at Gamble. Nice save there. That was a hot kick on goal. Probably about where you'd want it as a keeper. It was up around eye high, I would think. A little bit higher than that, and those can be difficult. But here comes Mellisa on the attack again, and this is a long, deep kick here off of a Lady Cat defender. Hurst is going to settle it down. Maneuvering, picked up 2 players real quick. She works it back to Stupinski. Worked over to the side, and it's going to just roll across the touchline for Mellisa. Madison Marks is in there, and now here's a throw in for Allie Stevens. Stevens sends it down the touchline toward Bailey Arrington. And now Yamaguchi mixing it up in there, but taken away by Marks. Kicks it down the field. Goes off of Shelby McCormick back there, and now the Lady Cats will kick it down the field to Arrington. They've got 3 on about 4, but intercepted by the Mellisa defense. They'll find Wallace, and Wallace on the maneuver. Wallace moving in with a great deal of speed and a lot of talent there. Moves it back to Eichel, and Eichel will kick, partially blocked, or actually fully blocked by the Lady Cats. Over to the middle of the field, Stupinski down to Hurst. Hurst kicks right on goal there. Nice save by Gamble. And now Gamble will fling it out of there.
Nice throw, Gamble.
Yeah, all the way down to Bailey Arrington, and Arrington on the move. 4:51, all that's left here in the first half. Mellisa 1, the Lady-Cats 0. And a kick well down the field. They'll send it over toward the middle. Nice interception there by Keely Hudgens. Oh, tried to get a pass in there and blocked by that stout Lady Cardinals defense. There's a kick into the offensive end for the Lady Cardinals. And Wallace putting on a burst of speed, tries to find a teammate, blocked by the Lady Cats. Did a good job there of keeping that pass from coming into Hurst. Lady Cats kicked it out of bounds, throw in on the far touchline. And the throw coming in. And here's a high arcing kick. Gamble dropped it to the ground and then came out of there with it and rolls it way out to Yamaguchi. Gucci is chasing, and now Arrington heads on down the field. And Yamaguchi will kick deep. They're trying to send Hudgens in there against a defender. But Mellisa got there first, and defender coming up the field. Pass near the midline. Whoops, slipped across that midline. And back to the Lady Cats with 3:39 left here in the first half. And Lady Cats trail 1-0 to Mellisa.
Yeah.
Kick down the field. Yes, sir?
I was going to say, I'll tell you what, Gamble came ready to play. She's distributing, making plays making saves, and she's all over the place so far. If she could come out on the field and play, she'd probably come get a goal too.
Yeah, she's had a good night so far. Mellisa on the attack. They roll it into the 18-yard box there. The Lady Cats repel it back right to Wallace, who kicks toward the goal, just to the right of the goal. And that'll set up the goal kick for the Lady Cats with 3 minutes left here in the first half. The Lady Cats looking for the key to try to get something going against this tough defense, and against Melissa's really pushed up. They've got almost everybody across the midline. Now down toward Arrington. Lady Cats trying to break out of there. Down toward Keely Hudgens. Knocked out of bounds by Mellisa. As that was knocked out of bounds by Jenna Daniel. Throw in for Keely Hudgens. 2:30 left here in the first half. And Mellisa 1, the Lady Cats 0. Allie Stevens will throw the ball in toward Ashley Noe. Noe was knocked to the ground. Yamaguchi had it but lost it to Mellisa, and they'll kick across the touchline and allow Joel Bailey to get a touch in the game here. And it's back to Stevens for the throw-in. Stevens throw-in, out of bounds, last touch by Mellisa. They'll say that went off of Stopinski. And there's a throw-in for the Lady Cats. Bailey Arrington will kick the ball toward the middle. Oh, what a nice pass. Had looked like Haley Robinson right on the front. But are they going to say, Coach, that she made contact with the keeper? Is that?
Yeah, she kind of bumped into her a little bit. Keeper doesn't need to retaliate there, though. Just ref called the foul, move on.
Is that like a warning? Or?
Yeah, it's just a warning. Hey, everybody calm down. Back up a little bit. We'll play the kick and we'll get going again.
Yeah, it didn't look like much to the, it wasn't, where she really unloaded on her, just a little bump down there. And
it was a little bump. It wasn't overly aggressive.
It was very close to a beautiful pass. It almost worked.
Yeah, she's just playing ball. There's nothing wrong there. Ooh, handball. Yep, got it.
A handball is called there properly by Alexi Upton, so that'll set up the free kick for the Lady Cats. Looks like it's going to be out about 40 yards. Probably a makeable distance, I'd say, with that way that wind's howling, Coach.
Yeah, just put it into the mix and see what happens.
It's about 37 yards, and here's Stevens' kick, and she sent it down. It was blocked by the Mellisa defense, and they'll kick it out of there, and it's going to come across the touchline out of bounds, and it'll be the Lady Cats throw-in, Allie Stevens. Stevens a throw-in, went off of head of the Mellisa player Daniel and out of bounds, and Bailey Arrington will chase it down to speed things up because the Lady Cats only have 30 seconds here. As we're in the last half minute here is 1-0 Mellisa in the lead. Back toward Hudgens as the Lady Cats got a player right out in front, Haley Robinson. Here's a left-footed kick. Noe was blocked, and Mellisa kicks it out of there. My goodness, they are just so tough on defense. They seem to have all the angles covered. But the Lady Cats have had a couple of good moves here late in the half. There's only seconds left now. And That's going to do it. The Lady Cats get a late kick. I'm not sure that happened in time to count, but we're at the half, and Mellisa leads 1-0, or 1 goal. At 24:49, Lucy Hurst got the goal for Mellisa. They lead the Lady Cats at the half, 1-0. Coach, your thoughts on what you saw in the first half?
Good first half. Melissa's got some players that are dangerous. Wildcats just need to keep the ball better and really get our chances to score. We're just struggling to keep possession of the ball and score and create chances. So,
what happened in the last minute or so that allowed the Lady Cats to have a couple of really good chances?
Just getting in people's attack and getting in the box. When you play balls in the box and it's in there, it's dangerous, and you just get bounces and nicks and you get chances to score. So.
Definitely glad that McKenna Gamble came to play. You talked about her, and so that's very nice that she's been able to do the job.
Yeah, she's been playing really well. She's always playing really well, so she doesn't really have too many off games, though.
Yeah, she's on the game tonight. Now, did allow a goal, but it's hard to stop everything when a talented player gets inside that 6-yard box there, kind of in that sacred area for a keeper, and just put the ball into the net at 24:49. That's the difference in the ball game. Coach, are you going to be able to stick around for the second half? I know you've got to get ready for a ball game. So.
No, we're good. They kind of run themselves. They're a smart group, so maybe last 5 minutes or so.
All right. Well, Coach Upton will probably have to bail out on us late in the ball game. And let's go ahead and just take a break here, and we'll come back with more halftime. But right now, at the half, Mellisa 1, the Lady Cat 0, here from Gerald Prim Stadium. We'll take a break, back in a moment. You've got, this is obviously your last game before you go into district play. How do you size up the district? Obviously, I think of Mount Pleasant, and they're always tough.
Yeah, Greenville got second last year in the district, and it looks very incredible this year. They've played really well. I think they're 11-4 right now. They look really talented. They tied Lovejoy as well, just like us, so that gives us a good gauge of where we're at in the district. I don't want to jinx myself, knock on wood, but, I kind of see it as a top 3 and a bottom 3. I think us, Mount Pleasant, and Greenville are really going to kind of beat each other up for who gets what seed. And then I think T-High, they're kind of growing. Coach DeLeon took them over. They're kind of growing. And then Lindale's kind of, growing too, kind of younger. And then kind of the same thing for Roy City. So, I think, hopefully that's the way it plays out for us. But we'll see. We will see. That's
right. That's why you play the games. It's what happens on the field instead of the prognostications.
Yep.
But, I'm sure it's based on you've been keeping up with results and stuff. So as the teams are making their way back now, and I didn't see, did they stay out on the field or do they head into the locker room?
Yeah,
sometimes wouldn't you rather keep a team maybe on the elements than send them into a warm locker room and then they have to come back out to, however cold it is. I'm sure it's much colder than it was at 36. Not sure what the overnight low is supposed to be tonight, but it feels like it felt like 30 degrees when we started, and it's got to be a little bit worse than that now. So we'll check that. I think we can check the weather app there or something. Lady, excuse me.
32? That sounds about right.
Oh, boy. And that probably, I'm sure the chill factor's got to be like in the mid-20s.
Yeah, mid-25, 26.
Now, the teams have flipped sides, and it appears, though, that the wind has died here at the Brim.
Winds went away.
So that's a good thing from a Lady Cat perspective, because now Mellisa has the benefit of what wind there was, but it does, that flag is pretty still on the pole right now unless it kicks up. And but we get ready for the second half, and Mellisa will start with a kick back into their defense, and we're underway for the second half. And Mellisa leads 1-0. They'll kick to the near touchline here to Stopinski. She rolls it across the middle to Eichel, and down the field it goes. And they found Wallace in there. See what they talked about at half. We might be able to see if they have a strategy here that they're trying. Lady Cats break that up, trying to get out of their defensive end. Now Hurst has it, and will kick. Try to find Wallace. Scooted just past her, and Gamble gobbles that up. And here's the kick out of the goal there by Gamble.
Nice kick, Gamble.
That was a nice kick. Got it up to Haley Robinson. She turns and kicks it. Has LadyCat coming in there. That was Hudgens, but a deep kick by the Mellisa team. And now they've got Hurst burrowing in, and she put it in the net. Boy, just one-on-one with the defender and got by her and got possession of the ball. And second goal of the night for Lucy Hurst.
Yep, you got to cover the dangerous ones, man. She's clearly shown that she's dangerous, and she kind of just slipped in there and put it away.
That was at the 39-minute mark, so it didn't take her long to score the second goal of the night. And Mellisa leading 2-0 now. And the LadyCats have the ball back in their defensive end. They'll kick it up the field to Yamaguchi. And she works it over to the far touchline. Stevens over there. And the kick is right along that touchline. Finally goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Lady Cardinals. And that another one that looked like maybe the wind caught it or something. That ball just never made it in bounds. And so a throw in for the Lady Cats. Right about at the same spot. Actually, it would have to be the same spot. So Stevens will come up and do that. As just underway in the second half, and Mellisa leading the LadyCats 2-0 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. And district play starts for the LadyCats. They'll be at Greenville next Tuesday night. Now Wildcats will be here at Greenville. And Stupinski down toward Wallace. Rolled over to Eichel and down the field. LadyCats break that up. The Mellisa defense comes right back up and gets the offense going again. They'll try the right to the box and kick down the field. Goes out of bounds. Throw in for the LadyCats. We're at 37-35 here in the second half. Mellisa 2, the LadyCats 0. And there's a throw in. It's right on that near touchline, and LadyCats are bringing it up the field. And that is Caitlin Robinson. And now Mellisa kicks it back down into the offensive end. Hurst will try the left side. Back to Hurst, maneuvering. Finds a teammate, Eichel, for a shot, and it
what a save, Gamble.
The
my
crossbar there, and luckily came down inbounds, and Gamble able to cover it up before the speedy Wallace could get down there to pick it up.
That's a great job by Gamble of getting back up. You know, the save's great, but to not give up the rebound as well is also just as good.
Absolutely. And here come the Lady Cardinals, and they look like they're a different team here, actually, in the early going. They are playing with a lot more pep. Now there's a kick toward the goal, and that one started out to the right and just kind of stayed there and went over the goal. So a goal kick for the LadyCats at 36-16. And Mellisa leading 2-0 in the soccer game.
Yeah, they definitely came out with some energy. They've looked very lively since they've came out from the halftime break.
And a kick on the way off of Ashley Noe, and now headed right back down for Mellisa. They'll send it over to Stopinski. She kicks to the middle, and Hurst back to a teammate. They'll work. Here's a left-footed kick, and nice save there by Gamble again. I know in hockey you call standing on your head. Do you call it that in soccer, Coach?
I don't know about standing on your head, but yeah.
That's what they call a goalkeeper in hockey when he really has a game. They say he stood on his head.
She definitely has she's definitely got her plate full, if you could say it that way.
That's for sure, yes.
She's made some saves for sure, and here comes another one.
And Wallace moving in, and the kick hit the side of the goal that time. Just missed, and be a goal kick for the LadyCats at 35-13. And you might say they've turned up the heat, Coach.
Yeah, they definitely have. They've came out and they've been very aggressive. They've been trying to score a goal. They're trying to put one or two more on and put it away.
Ball kicked down the field, got away from players, and now Mellisa will round it up. He'll kick toward the middle off of a LadyCat and kicked it across the midline. Mellisa trying to get back in there. Out to the middle of the field. Kick it down the field, but broken up by the LadyCats and kicked out of there. Works it down to Hudgens.
Good.
Hudgens maneuvering down the field. The LadyCats 3-on-3 with Hudgens coming down.
Great ball.
Tried to find a teammate down there. Got it toward Arrington. Got a little bit past her, and the keeper was able to get there for the ball for the Cardinals.
Yeah, she tried to thread the needle there. It was close. It was close.
Ball on the far touchline. Mellisa on the attack, but broken up by Stevens. Kicked off Yamaguchi and back to the Lady Cardinals. Eichel has it. Eichel working against the defenders, against Haley Robinson. Down toward Hurst. Kind of got a missed kick on that one that Stevens was able to get to. Works it to Ashley Noe. And Noe down to Haley Robinson. LadyCats trying to get a run going there. Partially blocked kick, though, and taken by the Lady Cardinals. They'll kick down toward Wallace. And Wallace on them almost taken away. Well, the LadyCats did pry it loose, and they've got it on the touch line, but taken back by Wallace. Kicks to the middle of the field, and Hurst will work it back to Chapman. And goes, that's going to roll out of bounds. That was over there toward Reddick. And Stevens to throw in deep in LadyCats territory. And they throw in for the LadyCats. Kick the ball down the field into the Mellisa defense. It'll roll all the way inside the box to the keeper. She'll play it down on the ground and will kick it out of there off the ground. Comes up off of Chapman. LadyCats intercept. Yamaguchi moving in. Kicked off a Mellisa player. Yamaguchi hammered it in there. It's going to be inside the 18-yard box, and the keeper will take it over again. And she'll keep it down on the ground until she's threatened there by the LadyCats, and now she rolls it out. And looked like a good takeaway by the LadyCats. Kick toward the middle of the field. Toward the goal, just to the right of the goal. Fairly decent chance there by Hudgens. And kick. Found a chip, huh?
For our game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll try to remember to tell him. Last time I forgot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that.
But
there.
anyway, we can handle that too. We'll take care of that for you. And here comes Mellisa on the attack. Stupinski trying to keep it inbound. She does, and didn't get much of a kick on it, but did find a teammate, and that's Eichel. Eichel maneuvering around a defender there. Pretty good LadyCats defensive work back there.
Good job by Jasmine back there.
Jasmine Olvera doing a good job back there on the defense. Here's a throw in by Mellisa.
Yeah, something's wrong with Erica tonight. She usually plays back there. I guess she got hurt in practice because they said early on that she wasn't going to play today. So.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, I'd noticed that I did not see her in there. A kick for the LadyCats. Yamaguchi got hit, knocked to the ground, and be a foul on Mellisa. Free kick for the LadyCats, fairly deep in their own territory. See, usually Erica takes these big kicks. So I
booms them. She boomed one about 40, 50 yards on Community on Tuesday. I was like, whoa. That's
the Jasmine again that we were talking about on the kick. Back into the LadyCats' end. Kicked toward the goal. And Gamble will get that one. And she will punt this one out of there. Pretty nice punt off of Mellisa player. We have just over 30 to play here in the second half, and Mellisa leading 2-0. LadyCats repelling the attack, but Mellisa continues to work real hard there. Wallace to the center, and here's Eichel's kick, but that one had too much foot into it and hit the back wall back behind the goal there. And the goal kick for the LadyCats at 30-11. And Mellisa 2 and the LadyCats 0 here from Gerald Prim Stadium. There's a kick out of the goal. Settled down by Stupinski. Gets it over to Wallace. Kicks to the middle of the field. Goes through several players to the other side. Hurst has it again. She's looking for a hat trick in this one. Here's a kick toward the goal and just missed the left post that time. Gamble must have been able to tell that was wide from the beginning because she didn't look like she was surprised or anything by how close that came. Hard to read body language up here, but that's kind of the way that looked.
Yeah, it did kind of look like she was like pretty covered with that one.
And Gamble gets it down the field. A nice header by Yamaguchi. Back to the midline, a kick by Mellisa. And comes over to Harden.
Oh, come on, Brooke.
But taken away, though, by Mellisa Stopinski. And rolls it to Eichel, her teammate, who kicks. Boy, Hurst just sets up camp right there. There's a kick just to the right of the goal. Reminds me of an old Dallas soccer player named Tattoo from years ago. Man, you couldn't get him from the front of that goal.
Yeah, he'd park it. He'd hang out there right in front of the goal and just wait for the ball to come to him.
That was the old sidekicks, weren't they? An indoor team, I believe?
They still are. They play in Allen.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, you can still go see them. Yep.
Yeah, I remember those guys. Doyle, a lot of those old sidekicks. And the ball across the midline and chased down again by Mellisa.
Ooh, nice footwork.
It was nice footwork and across the midline for the Lady Cardinals. Haley Robinson broke it up, gets it to Yamaguchi, and she kicks it down toward Hudgens, but intercepted by the Lady Cardinals. They send it towards Stopinski. Oh, a good defensive play, Haley Robinson. And Brooke Harden works it over to Ashley Noe.
Ooh.
Some serious back checking going on by Hurst, and she ended up with the ball. But kicks it right to Haley Robinson down toward Hudgens, but intercepted again by the Lady Cardinals. 27-47. Mellisa 2, the LadyCat 0. Now they try to get it in again. A player falls, and they have, that's real close to the box there. Let's see, maybe just outside the box.
Yeah.
Even that would be a short kick. Now they're having a conversation as the officials huddling probably to determine whether that was inside or outside that 18-yard box. Looks like she fell in the box, but where was the contact? So it's either going to be, it looked like they're calling for a goal kick. I mean a penalty kick.
Yeah.
So a PK will be coming up. A chance we talked about Hurst with 2 goals. Well, let's see, they're going to send Wallace up, though.
Yeah.
Or does it have to be the offended player, Coach?
No. It could be anybody. Just unnecessary there from Shelby. She didn't really need to foul her or anything, and she kind of, I don't know, maybe let her emotions get the best of her there.
So this will be Wallace now. Peyton Wallace with a goal kick against McKenna Gamble. And Gamble trying to figure out where she'll go with it, and the kick on the way, and Gamble stopped it. And,
great save again, Gamble.
Follow shot.
Yes.
And they kept it out of there. Mellisa still trying to score after that blocked PK. What a beautiful play by Gamble.
Gamble's hurt.
And now a whistle blows, and so we'll check on the LadyCat's keeper. There was a lot of activity around her, and the players are flying around trying to keep that ball out of the goal. And so Joel Bailey trots at a great speed to check on his keeper. We've got an injury player timeout here, and we will, well, let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break here, James, and we'll be back in a moment. McKenna Gamble is back up on her feet now, and boy, a lot of activity there, and he took some blows apparently. She's walking around. Let's see what Joel Bailey decides to do. And recognize this keeper coming in there.
Is that? Yeah, I think they gave Allie Stevens a penny and said, hey, play goalie for a second while we take care of Gamble.
That is definitely number 10.
Yep,
so you know that. That is Allie Stevens, who now called on to play the goal.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's ever played goal before.
Yeah, I think she's the designated backup if Gamble gets hurt, because they don't really they don't have 2 goalies. So.
And Chloe Jones is also coming in for the LadyCats.
Chloe Jones.
I really like Chloe Jones. She's only a sophomore, and she's got a bright future. She's a really great outside back.
Well, good. We look forward to seeing her play. I don't think I've seen her play before.
Yeah, this might be the first time for her. She's brand new to the school, and she's a very exciting player.
Well, good deal.
Yeah. She'll just plug in right there where Allie Stevens was. Allie go play goalie and check in on Gamble and see where Gamble's up to.
I wonder if they've got to find a different jersey for
I think they're getting
Allie.
Yeah, I think they're getting Allie a real goalie jersey instead of just.
They're bound to have a spare over there.
Mm-hmm.
Ross Hicks, I saw him unload all the balls and everything. Boy, he was loaded like a pack mule when he came in.
Yeah, he's definitely prepared.
I'll put that bright jersey on Allie Stevens. You want to always be able to how those officials can spot the keeper, and she's got bright orange on. Looked like that would shine in the dark. Boy, it's always a big moment to block a PK. And Gamble getting it done, but what a tremendous amount of traffic around the net as Mellisa was trying to put that ball in the net, and they came very, very close. It was just right dancing around the goal line. Now Allie Stevens will be designated as number 1, which of course is Gamble's number, so has that 1 jersey on. It has 10 on underneath, but all you can see is that bright orange jersey with that blue number 1 on there for Allie Stevens.
I'm really interested to see how Chloe comes into the game. You know, it's 2-0. It's a little hot. It's a little fast paced. First action for her. Let's see how she does.
And a kick toward the goal to get us going here. And is that a save for Allie Stevens? Huh? How quickly she picks up her first save here.
I don't know if you can classify that as a save. They're just kind of giving it to her because of the injury.
Oh, it was right on goal, though. That was a hot shot. Hear her talk about that years from now. But here comes Mellisa, and the LadyCats take it away. Yamaguchi heading down the field, and will kick it toward Haley Robinson. It's pried loose, and comes over to the side here as Caitlin Robinson chasing, and it'll go across the touchline. LadyCats will have the throw in. Brooke Harden. Haven't seen Rusty roaming around. He's bound to be around here somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably up here in the press box somewhere near us.
He knows warm. He's probably up here in the press box.
Gamble's back. That didn't take long.
Boy, quick recovery by Bailey Gamble. So good to see her, and looks like she's in good shape, Coach.
Yes, it was. I think she probably just got that wind knocked out of her, and she just needed some time to recoup and get back out there.
Definitely, you want to make sure that nothing hurts and that everything's okay, and throw in for the LadyCats. We're at 24-48. Mellisa leads 2-0, and they continue to put on the heat here in the second half. Scored 1 goal in each half. And Chapman over to a teammate. Down the field it goes, and the LadyCats kick it out, but right to Chapman. They get it down low, and a nice defensive play by LadyCat to kick it out of there, get in the way of that offense. Haley Robinson battling for the ball with Mellisa. Got it kicked off of her, but now Mellisa will kick it down the field toward Caitlin Robinson. And now Mellisa sends it into the LadyCats' end. Eichel down the field. Players bump. There's Chloe Jones getting into the action. And Chloe sends it down to Arrington. Back to Chloe, and she puts a kick on it. Wonder how nervous that young sophomore is. Probably, if he's played a lot of soccer, probably not too bad. Soccer, but even, this has got to...
No, I bet she's a little nervous. I mean, when you step on the field and you haven't yet, she'll have a little first 2-3 minute jitters, but she'll be fine. She's played a lot of soccer.
Ball on the far side to Yamaguchi.
Good job, Christine.
And kicks toward the middle. Intercepted, though, by Mellisa.
I commentated curse right there and said good job, and gives it away.
Down the field it goes. LadyCats kick to the side, goes out of bounds. Throw in for Mellisa Stepinski. Throws it down the field. Brooke Harden mixing it up in there. Goes back to Brooke. Kick down the field toward Caitlin Robinson. Caitlin on the move, trying to get around a defender. Works it right along that touch line, manages to keep it in bounds. Goes down to Haley Robinson. Kick to the middle of the field. Whistle blows.
Oh, it was out.
And so it'll be a throw in for Mellisa. At 22:45 left to go here in the second half. Mellisa leads 2-0. They've had 2 goals by Lucy Hurst and had a penalty kick opportunity, but that one blocked nicely by McKenna Gamble.
Blocked by everybody on the Wildcat team.
And half the Wildcats defense.
Yeah, it was about 4 or 5 saves there.
Ball out of bounds, deep in LadyCats territory, and Mellisa with a throw in. I think we've got some subs coming in for Mellisa. Some players sitting over there freezing on the bench, glad to be in there running around a little bit to warm up a little.
Yep.
Kind of an incentive for wanting to get out there and play. And a throw in now. And throwing in will be Reddick. And the LadyCats have it. They work the near touch line here. Caitlin Robinson. There's a kick back into the LadyCats defense. LadyCats trying to break up the offensive surge by Mellisa. It's hard to do. They keep the heat on. Hurst has the ball. Now kicks to the left of the box. The player's going to have a hard time keeping that one in.
Oh,
but
she did, though.
And Jones kicked it, and it went across the line. Throw in deep in LadyCats territory by Mellisa. At 21-19, Mellisa leading 2-0 from Gerald Prim Stadium. The kick goes off of Yamaguchi. She chases, but Mellisa got there first. Now Jones turns and runs as Mellisa toward the goal. It goes across the end line, and goal kick for the LadyCats. Or no, let's see.
Yeah, corner, I think.
Oh, corner. Okay, you're right.
Good defense by Chloe, though. Good start. First 5 minutes in the game, she's playing good defense.
And corner kick coming up at 20:44. I believe it's still Eichel taking those kicks.
They're doing something fancy here. They're all lined up.
Oh, they are in a bunch right there on the edge of the 18. Now they spread out as the kick comes there and taken down by Mellisa, but they let it almost let it roll and get away from them, but they turn around and get it. Reddick and the LadyCats pry it loose there. Good defense. And there's a kick up the field, but Mellisa has it and puts on the press again on the offense. Stepinski with the ball, turns and shoots toward Reddick. Went off her foot. She had to kind of get up high to get that one. And it's hard to bring a ball under control like that when it's coming into you high. Did the best she could there, but it went out of bounds, and the LadyCats with a throw in at 19:44. And Mellisa leads 2-0. Here's a kick toward the center. And the LadyCats kick it down the field. Comes down toward Yamaguchi. And she maneuvers up the field out toward the middle, downfield, but right into that tough Mellisa defense. They'll work over to Reddick, and she'll work the right side, send Wallace chasing to the right of the box. Wallace gets there and starts to maneuver, finds a teammate, kick toward the goal, and Gamble takes it on a hop. It's good to be able to use your hands. And
even if you can't feel them.
Oh, that's a good point. Ball is taken away by Mellisa. They work it to Eichel right in the middle of the field. A strong kick and just skittered to the right of the post. Gamble got as far as the post, and that's really, as a keeper, that's what you want to do. You get that far, you figure you got it covered, and if it's going any further, it's going to go to the right. It did. Goal kick for the LadyCats at 18:37. And Mellisa up 2-0. And Gamble with a kick out of there. Comes over to the near touch line. Again, Mellisa on the attack. They get it back to Reddick. She finds Wallace. Sends it to the middle for Eichel. And the LadyCats trying to stay, have everybody covered. Now they send it back to the middle, work toward Hurst. She's trying to open for a shot. And,
I don't know about
they
that.
call a foul on Noe, and Ashley, I don't think she cared for that call too much.
She was a little frustrated by that call. I kind of am too. That wasn't really too hard of a foul there.
A free kick now from 24 yards out and right in front of the goal. This is a juicy position for a free kick for Eichel. But it does have the picket fence, and I've never seen a picket fence yet that the official didn't move back a little bit. They always cheat by a yard or two. And here's the kick, and it's going to sail over the goal. And so the Lady Cats dodge another bullet there. 17:21 left in the second half, and Mellisa 2, the Lady Cats 0. That's probably a good warm-up game, Coach, for district. Probably.
Yeah, and this Mellisa team can come play in the district and probably get top 2, top 3. They're a pretty good group. They've got a lot of talent.
Yeah, they certainly do.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering who, and maybe Mount Pleasant with the talent among those girls. Of course, I'm not
Roy
very
City
familiar
too.
with, Roy City.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah.
Them or Lindale, I'm not very familiar with.
Yeah, Roy City's girls are Tasco ranked.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. And here comes Mellisa now out of their defensive end. Chloe Jones comes up, and Chloe gets that ball.
Yeah, good, Chloe.
And moving it down that right side, finally taken away by that Mellisa defense.
Chloe
Jones
again.
mixing it
foul.
up, and then got knocked over and fouled there. So her hard work rewarded there. It looks good, like you say, Coach. It looks like a little hitch in the get-along there.
Yeah.
She got knocked down, but she's working that off.
Another little Allie Stevens out there, fast and strong. She'll do a lot of running.
Free kick for the Lady Cats out about 33 yards, but right on that far touchline. And here's a kick on the way for the Lady Cats. It's in the box. Settled down there by Haley Robinson, but whistle blows and an offside call, I believe. So back to Mellisa for the goal kick. And they hammer it down the field. And goes down to Chloe Jones. And she kicks it up the field, but and now Mellisa crosses the midline, and here they come in a big hurry. They send it down toward her. She's in ahead of the field, moving in, and will kick and put it in the goal. And a hat trick there for that young lady. As she scores at 15-26. Quite a talented young lady, and we noticed her from the very beginning. And a hat trick for Hurst, 3-0 Mellisa now at 15-26. Allie Stevens returns.
Playing center back now.
Joel's been moving some players around a little bit. Trying to find a good combo. Yamaguchi has it now over to Arrington. Arrington maneuvers it out, but taken over by Mellisa down to Chloe Jones. Kicks it up the field, but kicked right back down. Mellisa on the attack. With 15 minutes still left to play here, they lead 3-0. There's a long kick, and that one's going to find its way across the end line.
Yep. It's a good break. Here's probably my point here. I'm going to probably need to get on out of here and get our game going. So,
Coach, we appreciate it so much. Enjoyed having you on here. Alexi Upton, you ever done anything like this
No,
before?
it was fun. Next time we have another girls game where we're after them or before them, I'd love to come back up here.
All right. Well, good to have you.
All right. Yes, sir. Y'all have a good day.
All right. That's Alexi Upton, the Wildcats head coach, and he's getting ready for the boys game coming up. Wildcats and Melissa's Cardinals team. And once again, the Lady Cardinals on the attack. They lead 3-0. The Lady Cats defense kicks it out and goes down the field now to Haley Robinson, trying to get it over toward Hudgens. And Mellisa gets control again, but Harden got a kick in there. And now Mellisa kicks it into the Lady Cats defense. Header by Wallace there, a couple of headers, and she maneuvers the ball in with a lot of speed, moving in, a kick on the way. Gamble got a piece of it, but it went in the goal. A fourth goal for Mellisa at 13:57, and Wallace with a good individual effort as she headed it a couple of times and headed it toward the goal and then used that speed to break away and and get that shot on goal and put it in a good place to get it past McKenna Gamble, who's had a hot night tonight, but she's just been really tested with a lot of shots. A good Mellisa team, and they're up 4-0. Keely Hudgens will send it back to her teammate and over to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi back to Haley Robinson. Got away from her. Brooke Harden comes up. Again, Wallace. And went out of bounds. Wallace was unable to stop it. So throw in for the Lady Cats. Brooke Harden will do the tossing in at 13:33. And Mellisa up 4-0. They led 1-0 at the half. And then they have added 3 more goals in the second half. And there's the throw in for Brooke Harden. Lady Cats trying to get something going here. Got Caitlin Robinson over there, but now Yamaguchi trying to get in there on the defensive side. Harden sends it to the middle of the field. Kick out of there by the Lady Cats. Mellisa sends it down the field back to Wallace again. She'll kick to the right side. Has Reddick coming in over there. And the ball will squirt across the end line. It'll be a goal kick for the Lady Cats. 12:49 left here in the contest. Mellisa 4, Lady Cats 0. And a goal kick for the Lady Cats. Joel Bailey, after the girls game, will come up and will help us with the broadcast of the Wildcats game. We appreciate the coaches for doing that. In for the Lady Cats now is Jennifer Lopez. Lady Cats kick out of the goal. And comes down, taken away though by Mellisa. Player maneuvering in there. The Lady Cats trying to break it up. And Wallace gets it back to a teammate. Kicked, went well to the left of the goal on that kick. And Gamble will chase it down. Gamble looking pretty good back there after she had to leave the game after a PK and then a lot of activity around the goal. And I think she ran into some players, and Lady Cats luckily kept that one out of the goal. For 11:43 right now, Mellisa leading 4-0. Kick out of there by Gamble. Yamaguchi's got it. And Chloe Jones breaks out of there with it. Chloe trying to put on some speed there nicely down the far touchline. Kicked it a little bit ahead of herself. And Mellisa has control again. And they'll kick it out of bounds, though, and the Lady Cats. Chloe Jones, actually, they will have another player throw that in, not make her come all the way down. Lady Cats in a bigger hurry now. Like player maneuvering in, and now Mellisa has it on the far touchline. Jones steps in, kicks it into Melissa's defense. Mellisa trying to bring the ball up now. Eichel down the field. And here comes the Lady Cardinals down that far touchline. As we're at 10:39, they lead 4-0. Kick toward Gamble. Once it got in that box, she gobbles that up, and now will toss it out of there and flings it down the field toward Caitlin Robinson. And Robinson on the move. Gets it over to Arrington, who boomed it down the field. And it's going to make its way now into the 18-yard box and will be picked up there by the keeper for the Lady Cardinals. And she kicks it out of there. Skitters by Haley Robinson, but she got it over to her teammate there. And here comes Haley and works it to Caitlin Robinson. Caitlin Robinson moving in will kick. It's blocked, though, by a couple of Mellisa players, and they propel it out of there. Harden comes up. Harden working against Wallace and got it back to teammates. And comes down now to Jasmine Olvera. But Mellisa has it now. Eichel will send it across the field, but looks like Ashley Noe got there first, tried to kick it toward Yamaguchi. It's on the near far touchline, and now here comes Mellisa in on the attack, a player with a lot of speed, and Gamble came up and blocked that shot. It went across the end line and probably set up a corner kick. for the Lady Cardinals, but she at least stopped that dangerous threat there from Mellisa. They've had a hat trick from Lucy Hurst and a goal by Peyton Wallace. And Mellisa leads with 9 minutes to go here in the second half, leads with a score 4-0. And the Lady Cats will open district play on the road Tuesday night as they will go to Greenville. That'll be a big game for them. Both those teams wanting a good start, and Greenville very talented on their home field. Here's a corner kick by Mellisa, and it will be kicked out of bounds. I think we'll have a re-kick on the corner kick after that, and that's what's going to reset here as the clock just continues to roll like Old Man River. Keep rolling right along. 8:20 left here in the second half. Corner kick now just passed to a teammate and back to the corner taker. Lady Cats working hard on defense over there on that far touchline, but Mellisa got it back, sent it toward the middle of the field, and a kick, nice header there in the defense of the Lady Cats. Lopez has it, but it's taken away by Mellisa. Have a player burrowing in there trying to get it deeper. Then the ball squirts out to the side and goes across the near touchline here. It'll be a throw in for the Lady Cats deep in their own territory. 7:40 left here in the second half. Mellisa leading 4-0. Really blown open a tight soccer game. It was 1-0 at the half. And Mellisa really turned it on in the second half with 3 goals. Throw by the Lady Cats went off a Mellisa player, and they'll get to move out a little bit and try it again. And another throw in for the Lady Cats. Nice header there by Caitlin Robinson. Mellisa on the attack. Lady Cats trying to break it up. Here's Wallace moving down the field. Lady Cats, Jones with a nice kick. Gets it up toward Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi sends it down to Keely Hudgens. And now working hard for the Lady Cats, Haley Robinson on that far touchline. Arrington in there, trying to pry it loose, and a foul on Mellisa. Well, Lady Cats will get a free kick now out about 45 yards right on that far touchline. I'd call it more like 50 yards. I believe this is Allie Stevens there for the kick. Stevens letting her teammates get into position here. 6:30 to go here in the second half. Kick down the field, went off of Yamaguchi and comes over. Lady Cats kick on goal, but taken by the keeper there for Mellisa. And she will kick it out of there on the punt. Oh, nice high kick. Lands right on the midline and then takes a nice artificial turf hop down to Hurst, who's moving in. He's trying to find a teammate on the left side to the left of the box, and the ball squirts across the far touchline. And that'll set up a goal kick for the Lady Cats. 5:50 left here in the second half. Mellisa 4, the Lady Cats 0. Very good-looking Mellisa team. They may be heard from later on in this soccer season. Let's see how they do. Here's a kick. A nice header by Mellisa. Comes down to Wallace. And they maneuver down toward the goal. Right up in the middle there, and a kick. But that one, too much on that one. Hit the back wall. Went all the way over the goal and hit the back wall. 5:15 left in the second half. Mellisa 4 and the Lady Cats 0. McKenna Gamble with the goal kick right on the edge of the 6-yard box. And Gamble kicks it down the field. Goes down to Eichels. He'll kick it on the near side here. The Cats fighting for possession there. Goes back to Eichel. She maneuvers into the middle of the field, and she'll take a shot. It went off of one of her own players, or teammates. Got back to Eichel. Tries to line up another shot. Gamble stopped the initial shot, but not the rebound. And would you believe Hurst? Hurst just scored her 4th goal of the game at 4:34. To make it a 5-0 contest. I'm sure Lady Cats are a bit dispirited as the game gets out of hand here, and sometimes an out-of-hand game can get more out of hand. Now the Lady Cats kick it back into their end. 4:32 left here in the fourth quarter. It's 5-0 now. Mellisa with the lead. And we're beginning to see some new numbers out there. For example, handling the ball, Ellie Schaefer for Mellisa. Hurst is still out there. Out toward the center. Back to Hurst again. And her shot blocked. Now Eichel will hammer away, and Gamble will stop this one. How about that? Get about 40 saves or something, and still down 5-0. 3:56 left here in the second half. And now the Lady Cats kick the ball across the midline, but Mellisa sends it the other way over toward Brooke Harden with a right-footed kick, and comes down to Haley Robinson. Robinson on the move for the Lady Cats. Kick down the field off toward Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi working hard out there. Back to Ashley Noe. Noe across that far touchline and kicked out of bounds. And they'll say off the Lady Cats. So a throw in for Mellisa. 3:09 left here, all that's left in the second half. Mellisa up 5-0. Broke open a tight 1-0 game at the half with 4 goals here in the second half. And Mellisa down the field. A kick goes off of Gamble, and the follow shot will go into the net, and Hurst scored another one at 2:49. And it's 6-0. Mellisa with the lead. 2:48 left here in the fourth quarter. Joel Bailey putting more players out there to give them some experience. As Lois Roca is out there. Also put in Jackie Esparza. And the Lady Cats will put it into play here. They're down 6-0, just 2:45 left here in the second half. Haley Robinson. There's a kick down the field. It'll go across the touchline. Throw in for the Lady Cats. 2:31 left here in the second half, and Mellisa had 6-0 on the scoreboard. They scored early and often here in the second half. Again, 5 goals in the second half after a 1-0 first half. Mellisa kicked down the field. And whistle blows. And it'll be a free kick for the Lady Cats after the foul on the Lady Cardinals.
Olivera with a free kick for the Lady Cats.
Olivera will get this kick. Just under 2 to play now here in this one, just about all over. And Haley Robinson sends it down toward Roca. And Mellisa on the attack. Brooke Harden kicks it down the field to Haley Robinson. Mellisa has it back. 1:32 left. They'll kick down the right side. That'll be too far for that Mellisa player, and it'll go out of bounds. Clock continues to roll. 1:21 left in the second half. Mellisa 6, Lady Cats 0 from Gerald Prim Stadium. Melissa's been hot. The weather has been cold. 36 degrees when we started, and down around 32 as we started the second half. Throw in for the Lady Cats. And a foul on Mellisa. And Ashley Noe, I think, will take the free kick here. And she'll put it in play. Just 51 seconds left. Whistle blows. And stoppage in play for just a second. Clock continues to roll, but the official wasn't quite ready for that ball to be put into play. Now he is, and a kick by Ashley Noe. Comes down to Haley Robinson, but taken back by Mellisa. 30 seconds, all that's left here in this one. And Mellisa started a player down the right sideline, went out of bounds. Throw in for the Lady Cats. Be Harden. And Brooke Harden with the throw in. Nice header there by Robinson, Haley Robinson, but out of bounds it goes. 8 seconds, just about put a bow on this one. And the ball brought in and a deep kick down the field, and there's 0-0 here as this one is history. And the LadyCats lose to Mellisa in the last non-district game before the start of district play, 6-0. And 5 goals tonight by Lucy Hurst. Scored at 24:49, made it 1-0. That was in the first half. That's the way it stayed through halftime. Then Hurst scored at 39 minutes and at 15:26 and made it 3-0. Wallace scored the 4th goal at 13:47. Hurst at 4:34 and Hurst at 2:49. 5 goals in the evening and 6 for Mellisa in a 6-0 win. So the LadyCats, and find my notes here, will go to 1-10-3 on the season after this loss. But every team loves the fact that when you go into district play, everybody is 0-0. And that'll be the case Tuesday night when the LadyCats go over to Greenville. They will be 0-0, both of those teams, and they'll be fighting to go 1-0 in district play. So that's going to wrap it up. We appreciate Alexi Upton for helping us out with the broadcast and doing that for the first time. And it's interesting to hear Alexi's thoughts as he shared them with us. And he's very close to soccer around here, and his first-year head coach for the Wildcats. And we're happy to have him. He's full of enthusiasm, and he likes his team and likes the way they're playing, and hopes they have a big night tonight against Mellisa. And we'll see if these guys can match the performance of their young ladies over there in Mellisa, who won the first game by the score of 6-0. And let's go ahead and wrap this one up. And we will probably have about a 10-minute hiatus, James, is what it's looking like, and before we come back and give Doug a little bit of a break, and we'll come back right before the Wildcats and Mellisa, the varsity boys game, before that kicks off. So James Terry spots back at the station. We appreciate him. Doug Haston set up everything, did all the engineering and also videotape work. And appreciate my partner Alexi Upton again for coming on and helping out with the broadcast. I'm Don Julian with your play-by-play. Once again, our final score here from Gerald Prim Stadium: Melissa's Lady Cardinals 6 and the LadyCats of Sulphur Springs 0. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are this evening, and so long, everybody.
Thank you, Don. You've been listening to LadyCat Soccer on your official Wildcat and LadyCat station, KSST 1230 AM, Sulphur Springs, Texas.